Let's start a new series called Computer Stuff 101 where we talk about some basic things. In this edition, why not kickstart with file extensions for images, how to convert your photos to JPG. You may have noticed that some devices like iPhones for example produce HEIC images. They are actually high efficiency images which are compressed so that you can store more things on your phone. That's good, but they are not always friendly to be shared across other platforms. Or maybe you received a bunch of HEIC images which you want to convert to JPEGs. Here's how you do it. On your Windows PC, regardless of which version it is, I'm sure it'll work on anything. Right click on it, select open with and open in Paint. Yes, good old Microsoft Paint. Once that file is open, you're pretty much good to go. You can just click on File, Save As, and there you go. You have a bunch of options including a JPEG. Select JPEG and just save it to a location. And that's it. You notice that it's still pretty good quality. It doesn't destroy the quality in any way. Even though we laugh at Microsoft Paint, it's actually pretty good for converting images. Now you may be thinking, wait a minute, this is JPG. I want JPEG or JPEG. Are they the same thing? Yes, of course they are the same thing. Don't believe me? Let's rename this. I'll just add an E towards the file extension. I get a warning that, oh, you're changing the file extension, are you sure? And if I do change it, you'll see that it's exactly the same. Same file size, same file quality. It didn't change anything except the file extension name. So why do we have these two names, JPG and JPEG? It's actually a funny story. You see, when the JPEG standard came out in 1992, yes, it was JPEG originally. Most PCs were running Microsoft DOS or MS-DOS, and that didn't have support for more than 3 characters in the file extensions. So since JPEG had 4 characters, it couldn't support it, and that's why we had to come up with a shorter version, which is JPG. It's exactly the same. It's basically JPEG for MS-DOS and the early versions of Windows around 1992. But then Apple came out with their Macintoshes and they had no such limitation. They could run JPEGs directly. So we had Apple users using JPEGs and early Windows users using JPGs for their image files. I know it's stupid, but that's how these two variations came, and now as you can see, all PCs run JPEGs, and even in the Save As menu you may have seen that the JPEG also has .jpg extension. So if you have a JPG and you're wondering how should I convert this, don't worry, it's exactly the same. There's no point in converting. What about PNGs then? You may have heard of PNG, right? How is it different than JPG? Well, let's do a quick experiment. I'll just draw something here. As a professional artist, as you can see, I've drawn this gentleman with some gains. They've been working hard. And let's save it as 2 variations. One as the untitled PNG and one as a JPG. Let's see what happens. There you go. There are the 2 files. I'll open them side by side and zoom in. The one on the left is PNG. I'll zoom in 5000% to the individual pixel level. Okay, you can clearly see the pixels, right? Let's try the same with JPG. As soon as I zoom in, I can see some artifacts there. That, my friend, is called JPEG compression. This is why we use PNGs for graphics. Like anything you have drawn as a 3D application or a drawing or illustration, it's better to export that as a PNG. JPGs are better suited for photos. Another advantage of PNG is the file sizes. You may be thinking, since PNG has better quality, it may take up more space. It's actually the other way around. Look. PNG only takes around 10.5 KB in this case. JPG takes 30 KB and still has more grain and artifacts. So JPG gives lesser quality for higher file sizes, which is why don't export your artworks and stuff in JPG. And that's true regardless of which platform you're using. It's not just for Microsoft Paint. PNGs are better for graphics. And if I try to do the same thing with our original photo, export it as PNG, you'll notice that side by side you can't really tell a big difference, except the file size has flipped now. The PNG one has a ridiculously high file size and there's no benefit or there's no noticeable difference. So it's a waste if you export a picture taken on your phone or your camera as PNG. So keep your pictures as JPGs and keep your graphics and elements as PNGs. They should be separate. I hope you understood this. Leave a like if you thought this video was helpful and let me know if I should do more.